Hello, it's Alison of The Alison Show, and welcome to part 7 of my How to Be Awesome series. How to Be Awesome part 7 is, if you want to see different results, do things differently. And I'm laughing to myself right now because I just spent the past 10 minutes like talking and crying and like pouring my heart out, and I hadn't pushed record. Anyway, for part 7, if you want to see different results, do things differently, I'm actually going to tell you a little bit about the background of how I came to do this How to Be Awesome series. So I've been blogging and putting content online for about 7 years. And professionally, I've been trying to grow the Alison Show brand for probably about 4 years. Oh gosh, yeah, 4 years. And about 1.5 years ago, it got to a point where this is a really expensive hobby. It's sucking money, it's sucking time. What are you doing, Alison? And it's hard for me because I like to do everything. I want to be all over the place. So I have contributed to Martha Stewart. I do parties. I'll throw a professional corporate event. I'll do little DIYs, and I'll be on YouTube telling you how to look really hot in a photo booth, right? The Alison Show is kind of like all over the place, but the consistent factor is that it's Alison, right? Or so I hope. But I started to, need to monetize this and help bring money in with this. And that's pretty scary, right? I needed to do things differently. I needed different results. But it's really hard to do things differently because what if they don't work? What if you look like an idiot? And one thing I started doing differently is I started doing a lot more video on YouTube. And I joined what they call an MCN, a multi-channel network. And I thought, okay, I'm going to start, focusing on my video, and it's going to start bringing me in money. That's laughable. So what happened is I decided, and what everybody tells you to do, is you do video based on like what people are searching for. So like I have a frosting recipe I love. I'm super excited to share my favorite buttercream frosting with you. But at the end of the day, that's not what gets me out of bed, right? And in the back of my mind for over really 3 years, I had the inkling of this idea to do a series called How to Be a Rock Star. But I don't have any musical talent. My husband's a musician. And so I kind of arrived on this How to Be Awesome. And I was so embarrassed to do part 1, to sit down, and ironically enough, part 1 is getting started, just get started. But I was so embarrassed to sit down and just talk to the camera and offer advice because who am I? I'm a hot mess. But it was something I felt so passionately about. It was something I really wanted the Alison Show to be about, and I never intended that it would make any money or bring me any money in any indirect way even, because that's not how you make money on YouTube. That's not how you make money with video. Well, I put myself out there. I needed different results, so I just shut up and stopped making excuses, and I did something differently. And you can go back and see these How to Be Awesome videos have like a couple thousand views. It's not like it went viral on YouTube. But I had worked with Bing, like Microsoft, in the past, and they saw after about part 3 this How to Be Awesome series, and they loved it. And they had been looking for somebody and an idea to tie a series of what they were calling makers workshops together. And they approached me and they said, would you be willing to kind of take your How to Be Awesome show on the road? And I was like, yes. And and they're like, and they wanted to pay me. So remember, I'm trying to figure out, like, what is it that the Alison Show is giving to the world? How can I make money with that? and, you know, be the person that I want to be. And like I'm always talking about, share my unique talents. And all of a sudden, this like perfect storm of an opportunity came to me because I had put myself out there, because I had done something differently. And so to explain that a little bit, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw me like all over the country with this hashtag search for your awesome. And what it was is it was 6 parties, and 4 of those 6 parties were in fun cities, and they were search for your awesome with Bing, right? I came up with that with my advertising background, taking the How to Be Awesome series and a search engine and search for your awesome. And I was the creative director of those events, and I got to work with lots of awesome bloggers in each city. And in those 4 cities, the co-hosts were responsible for inviting the influencers and bloggers from their city that they wanted to have come to this workshop. And at the workshop, I talked a little bit about searching for your awesome. And then one of the co-hosts would teach a skill. For an example, we did these really fun weavings with Rachel Dumbo of Smile and Wave. And I was the creative director, so I came up with like kind of the concept for everything and helped make all of the events flow. And then I got to do the cherry on top in my hometown, well, where I live, Provo, a Flamingo Fest dance party. And it was amazing. And the mayor came, and it helped people feel awesome because they were having a good time dancing. And then I also got to do one more party with them for a blogging conference at Alt Summit. And that's where this gorgeous throne, the Throne of Awesome, that's where it made its debut. And I was paid, and it was more work, and I had a lot of breakdowns and a lot of crying, and I learned a lot about, you know, what it is the Alison show does, and what it is I do, and what it is I want my empire that I'm building to be. But it would have never happened if I hadn't just shut up and sat down and recorded part 1 of the How to Be Awesome series. And so this week, your awesome homework is, think of some place in your life that you want to feel differently, that you want to feel more awesome. And then whether that's in your physical appearance, whether that's in your work life, whether that's as a parent or as a partner in a relationship, how do you want to feel more awesome, and what, you know, differently? And then what can you just do differently? What can you do differently? And that's, you know, sometimes it's going to make you feel more awesome. Sometimes it's not going to do much. Everybody, you can go on my blog and see, I mean, I've tried everything to figure out what I should be doing. And lo and behold, it was telling people that they're awesome, right? And so, which is at the end of the day, like, all I ever really wanted to do. So I don't know why I was so afraid to just sit down and do it, because this is like all I've ever wanted to do is help people feel more awesome. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this part 7, if you want to see different results, do things differently, inspires you in some way. And you do your awesome homework, and you subscribe to the Alison Show, follow me on Instagram. I've been partying pretty hard on Facebook lately too. I'm kind of loving Facebook. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day.